Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Facing the Music with Terry Oldfield. My name is John Valdivia, producer at idesound.com. This series, curated from candid conversations, will introduce a return to the mystery and wonder of existence, as well as our necessity to confront ourselves. We shall also feature selected pieces from Terry's extensive musical anthology. In this episode, Terry analyzes the ego, calling it an automation machine. He explains how the future will take care of itself and the importance of being present with what is. Welcome to Facing the Music.
The bottom line at the end of it is, so enjoy it. I want life to have development, drama, adventure, growth, experience, excitement. None of that is possible without an ego, etc., etc. The ego is not going to be dispensed with. It's just losing its character. The ego is a process of automation, which is essentially a tool of survival and functionality in the hologram or dream. And somewhere along the line, it developed into an automation which was trying to protect itself. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this stage of practice. This is the only practice that I do, is to constantly be aware of the effort to create a future. Because living in the present is living without a future. That future needs to be taken care of by knowledge. The stream of thinking is constantly trying to infiltrate the room of being. It's constantly wanting to get in there, and it won't stop until it's seen enough. You know, Krishnamurti used to say, the usual way of meditation is you sit and the battle begins. He also said that there is a right place for thought, and mind has to learn the art of allowing thought to find its right place. Those who wish to enjoy the world will not hear this, will ignore this. Have we had enough of searching for happiness in things? And because it never works. If we're really honest with ourselves, it has never worked. Ever. There's never a moment when it's worked. If you have a new car, you notice you love it for a while, but you get used to it. And it's like a relationship, you know, unless you're willing to use that relationship to go deeper together, you're going to want to change for another one, a new model. So the question is, are we ready to stop? And only if we're ready can we actually hear this, because otherwise there's a curtain. You know, the veil of Maya is created by the interpretation of the functionality of the brain. And it's actually interpretation, Maya. It's naming things, you know, name and form. That's constantly going on, constant. When you've had enough, you know that you're not going to be satisfied, ever. I mean, even hunger, you eat and then you're not satisfied a bit later and you eat again. You know, it goes on and on. It's that repetition, which is addiction. Because that way the mind is feeling useful. Oh, I'm really useful. I solved that one. Oh, let me have another one and I'll solve that one. Oh, please give me another one. I'll solve it for you. Yeah, love this. And it's a sort of merry-go-round of problem solving. And the way to get rid of any problem is to create a bigger one, isn't it? If you're really worried about money, try walking into a doctor's surgery and he tells you you've got 2 months to live. Do you worry about money? Probably not. The focus goes on to the worst thing. So it's that process of problem solving just gets redirected onto the bigger problem. And so it's actually quite a good strategy to keep creating bigger problems because the other ones just vanish. But if we don't have anything wrong, which is that area of no resistance, which happens when the fear of the void starts to drop away, when we have no resistance and we say, okay, everything's fine. The poor old problem solver gets panicked because he's not needed anymore. And so that's when all that study of Vedanta comes in. You need to be convinced of the truth. Because that's the first step, is to know what the truth is. And then you walk the path knowing that for a while and deal with all your residual stuff that was put behind you because it wasn't quite faceable yet, all that music that we didn't face. And when that starts to come in, the body has to experience all that, and that's where the real fire is lit, because the emotional stuff is overwhelming. Unless you've got the background knowing that this is actually the truth. I'm not the body, but this is the way through the fire, through direct experience. And I know what the truth is. I don't need to be convinced, because I've been through all the books and the courses and all the stuff that you're supposed to do in order to get to that truth. But it's a kind of catch-22, because you know the truth, but you've still got the automation going. So then it's to deal with the automation. People spend 10 years with a psychiatrist. It doesn't help, because what you're doing is you've still got the reasons for what you're feeling. And they keep telling you to go back to the reasons for what you're feeling. So that's nice and secure for the problem solver. Oh, yeah, I know why I'm feeling this. Mummy was horrible to me. Yeah, so I have to forgive Mummy, and I'll have to go to this forgiveness seminar because they teach you how to cut the ties that bind, all that stuff, It's all over the world. Ways of dealing with emotions. The way to deal with emotions is to just have it. You don't need to do anything in order to have it. You just need to be unafraid to have it and aware of the insidious nature of that automation. Ultimately, it's fantastic. It's the most amazing supercomputer that could ever be invented, but it's just on this cycle of repetition. And we can either live our lives in automation, or we can actually wake up and live a life of lucid waking. You have to pass in between the two statues that guard the gates of the temple. Paradox and confusion. These are two of the anathemas to the mind. It needs to know, and there's no explanation because it's a paradox, and it's confusion because there's no solution. If you can walk through paradox and confusion to the inner sanctum, which is being doesn't need to know, and being doesn't have any need for an explanation, because it just is what it is. And that's impossible for the mind to understand, hence all the religions and attempts to explain it, and creations of afterlife and reincarnations and all that's, Steiner's hierarchy of angels and archangels. The whole thing is an effort to explain it. And unless we have direct experience, nothing is true. Nothing is true. It's just thoughts, ideas, and belief systems. So to walk through the middle between paradox and confusion that really is the gateless gate, because you walk through into a place of not knowing, a place of impossibility. We have to be okay with that. Abandon all control, ye who enter here. We have to be prepared to keep on letting go and seeing through it, which means you just drop it all the time. You don't allow it to take hold at all. You just drop it and drop it and drop it. Even calling it any name is the effort to put it into the realms of memory so that it can be used for the future. You see, and it's not anything other than the emptiness reasserting itself as the dominant feature, or no feature. See it, drop it, be, repeat. See it, drop it, be, repeat. Just to give you an example, you wake up in the morning, as soon as you open your eyes, shall I get up or shall I stay in bed? Oh, think of the coffee, that'd be nice. Immediately it starts, so you become aware. You don't just sort of lie there in a kind of stupor, but you'll find that you will get up, you will walk across and get dressed, you will clean your teeth or whatever you do, but allowing the emptiness to be the focus rather than the things that are creating a kind of compensation for an ugly life, basically. That's not to say you don't go for a walk, you don't do all the things that you normally do. You probably will. It's not a question of changing what you do. It's carrying awareness into those actions. Just a constant letting go of the wave of repetition, constantly letting it go and allowing any discomfort that arises out of that. And you'll find that discomfort will slowly dissipate.
Thank you for listening to Facing the Music. We want to extend our gratitude for your company today. For enriching context and further insight into our series, do visit ithesound.com/Terry. We have provided all the pertinent information in the description. For those interested in delving deeper into Terry's compelling journey, his biography, Only Now, is readily available on all major online bookstores. It is an intimate and insightful account of a life dedicated to music and spiritual awakening. Lastly, please visit terryoldfield.com to stay up to date with Terry's latest endeavors. Once again, thank you for your time. This is John Valdivia from ithesound.com.